here made it happen. Thanks to Phil and Haley for their incredible support. Thanks to Ide for his tremendous, huge shout out there.
This weekend marked a special day. It was a grand opening for the Burlington Bike Park, the first purpose-built mountain bike trails located in Vermont's biggest city. You may remember a few years ago, I raffled off my iconic Evil Calling bike. I did this to help raise funds for the initial phase of the Burlington Bike Park. Now, the charge was mostly led by the Burlington Bike Park Coalition. They're the ones who have been really leading the charge for community outreach. The community outreach part is slow and it's an arduous process. It involves a lot of emails, meeting with city officials, planning. You said you've been working on this for close to 10 years at this point?
Yeah, late 2016. Yeah, we started meeting, talking about it, dreaming about it.
While the building stuff is cool, it's fun to do,
yeah.
The less glamorous side is what he's been tackling over the past few years. And it's what you don't get to see, but like, if it wasn't for people like him making this happen, these sorts of things would not happen, because people like to build. Building's fun, but sending emails, doing all this outreach for years and not seeing any progress can be a little demoralizing. So it's really a pivotal moment for the city of Burlington and the state of Vermont. I was actually lucky enough to be involved in the building and construction phase of the Burlington Bike Park. Nate Ide is a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. He is one of Vermont's most respected builders. Now we're getting a chance to do this following night.
But no pedals for sure.
If you've ever ridden Baker's Creek in Knoxville, Tennessee, or Wildside Bike Park, those are some of the trails that him and his crew are responsible for. That's to say, his crew knows what they're doing. They've built a lot of legendary trails and features throughout the East Coast. This was really exciting to me because I got a chance to work alongside and help bring a bike park in Burlington, Vermont to life.
So how much do you have experience in a skid steer? So these, like this is a pretty decent slope on the side of this, but we're gonna build this out even further. Kids are gonna be climbing all over this. We can pile up on the trees as long as you leave the swell on one side of it.
I'm gonna play around with this. This has a different control scheme than the ride-on skid steer that I know. So I'm just gonna kind of get used to it real quick. And then, yeah, we'll get boogieing. All right, interesting theme features. This stand is bouncy. You have to haul lots and lots of dirt on some of these projects because, well, unfortunately, even though it snows a lot in Vermont, it doesn't snow dirt, and so you have to import it from other sources. So we were lucky enough that we were able to import dirt, and we found some pretty good dirt, but we still had to get the dirt from where it was dumped into the woods. This bike park is going to be built in 3 phases, this being the first. So we're building the beginner sections. This involves some rollers and some beginner jumps. This is one of the best ways to get people acclimated to what a bike park is. It's the most widely accessible because people of all different backgrounds and skill sets can ride the bike park without being too intimidated. You have the rollers, which aren't terribly tall, which users can learn how to pump and roll their way through, and then they can work up to the beginner jumps. These might seem pretty rudimentary for people who've been mountain biking for a while, but when you've never been exposed to mountain bike terrain, a lot of this stuff is completely foreign. Okay, so right now my task is to try to get dirt on the edges of some of these. Like, this one might be all right, but like some of these, especially the ones up there, are a little steep for a beginner trail. So you need to make them a little bit more gradual. So right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get from one side of this brush to the other. Okay, right now I'm going to begin a process that some call duffing, some call renaturalization. It's essentially all around, there's all these piles of organic material that were removed to create a nice firm base to build upon. Once you're done building and you have these jumps kind of in the shape that you want to put organic material back onto the sides of the jumps. This does two things. This helps them hold up to weather events from rain to erosion, but it also helps kind of clean up the piles of organic material and kind of renaturalize things to make it look more like it was landscaped. And so it's like a win-win. It makes it look good for people who don't ride bikes. So this is a process that really makes the trail look finished. One of the coolest things about where this bike park is located, it is located right off the bike path. So users who are riding back and forth might get a glimpse of what's happening in the woods and go check to see what's going on. These people may have never seen a mountain bike trail before, so it's a really cool way to expose new people to the sport. People who live in the area don't have to drive anywhere, spend money on gas or equipment needed to get your bike tuned from the trailhead. Even a bike rack costs $1,000, so if we're trying to get people into the sport, some of those costs that we kind of forget about are prohibitively expensive. So as I mentioned, this is just the first of 3 phases for the bike park. The next phases will involve building some bigger jumps, more technical features, and essentially building upon what we've already established. Now this past weekend was the official grand opening for the Burlington Bike Park, but it's actually been open and done for the past few weeks. But this was just a way to celebrate the 7 years of hard work that's gone into making this come to life. It was also a great way to get a chance to ride it with a bunch of other people and talk about some of the future projects that we have going on. I was really excited to see people's enthusiasm for this bike park and see how many different people I saw riding the bike park. I think this is a huge asset to the city, and I'm really excited to see what the future of the Burlington Bike Park is. So if you want to get involved, I'll leave a link below to the Burlington Bike Park Coalition's website, as well as our socials, where you can follow along and see what the next upcoming projects are. So if people want to help out, where can they help out?
So bikeparkbtv.org is the place to go. That'll have all the information there.
I'll link that in the description.
Yep, thank you. And we're taking donations for phase 2 and phase 3, which is a pump track, and also to do more progressive lines, both for the jump lines and then the trails.
So if you happen to find yourself in Burlington, Vermont, come check this place out. It's located right in Leddy Park. There's plenty of parking, and it's located right off the bike path if you decide to ride from town. I want to give a big thanks to Ide for letting me be involved in this project. A big thanks to the Burlington Bike Park Coalition for seeing this project through, Fellowship of the Wheel, the City of Burlington, and everybody who has contributed to make this place happen.
Tigger over here.